All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons. And we thank God for all those of you who have joined us here on the broadcast, especially those you are watching on demand, on replay, or via the archive. We thank you, and thank you very much for doing that. Remember, we are available to you on multiple platforms. We're on YouTube Live, we're on Facebook Live, we're on Twitter TV, and we're also on Roku via my good buddy, Mr. Gary Booker. He has the Phoenix Entertainment Group, and it's located on Tiki Live. So when you go to Roku, go to Tiki Live and put in Phoenix Entertainment Group, and you'll find them. Please follow us on social media anywhere at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. And remember, I am right here. You got me. Boom. You can follow the show, Real Talk Sports 7. Follow me personally at Minister J. Sims, and we'd love to connect with you. All right, guys, when we do this show, we bring on one of the most beautiful women in the world of sports talk radio or TV. We simply call her the Queen. Miss Tree Dolman is back in the building. Hello, Tree.
Hey, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
How we doing?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
Praise the Lord. Doing pretty good. I have a new studio that is located in the 3rd floor of my daughter's place. I will say that at the end of the day, getting up that last flight is a little bit of a challenge, but praise the Lord, we have made it, and we are now up here in our virtual studio, and it's great to be back here. A little nippy outside today, though, a little cold.
It is nippy.
Feels like we should be in the Christmas season because it's cold and rainy, and they're saying the temperature may go down to like in the 20s, by Christmas Day.
Well, next week it's supposed to be a low of 12.
Oh no.
Yeah, so 20s is it's about to get cold.
Wow. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Todd is already on it. We're going to pop it up here, and then we are going to talk about that as one of our topics for tonight, as you know, about Deion and his charges at Jackson State. And he says, I call it preacher. Deion was distracted. Now Deion has lost Travis. He's going to the University of Georgia. To the best of my understanding, that has not yet totally been confirmed. We shall see what will happen. I know Kirby is aggressively recruiting him, as well as some other guys from around the country. So we'll see what happens, and we'll wait for the final, showdown to see if that happens. We'll see. But yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that in just a few. All right. Do you have any breaking news, madam? Something I might have missed in the world of sports, or just in general, that you want to talk about real quick?
No.
He said, no, bro, let's keep it in the middle. Well, one thing we do want to do, speaking of it's not breaking news, we do want to give congratulations to the country of Argentina, as they have once again won the World Cup. And we want to give a big shout out to Messi, who is a legendary star in the world of soccer around the world. A lot of people thought that maybe he was, I don't say washed up, but certainly at the end of his rope. But he led Argentina to a thrilling victory, and they set records for viewer watching around the world. Yeah, it's just incredible. Now they're talking about extending it, and they're also talking about enhancing the World Cup for women's soccer. So, Yeah, it works. Once that money train starts rolling, that is the way it goes. Let's go ahead and look at our topics for today. Let's pop them up here really quickly. Dun, 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 dun. And for today we have, yeah, hot topics. Nothing really earth-shattering breaking. We do have some more news, of course, out of Atlanta. The Braves' Danby Swanson has swine. Danby Swanson has signed with the Chicago Cubs for 175 million over a 7-year contract. Also, the Hawks again struggle. They hold on a second half lead. They did win. I don't know what the heck is going wrong. Of course, Deion and JSU lose again. What is his legacy? We're going to talk about that coming up next. And how do the APCUs at this point maintain the momentum? And as we always do, we'll close out with a little football talk, Falcons and the NFL, because I know someone who's very happy about what's going on in places other than Atlanta. So we'll get into all of that. Well, Dansby Swanson, we should have known since he had the same agent as Freddie Freeman that he was probably going to be gone. What do you think about Dansby leaving? Big deal, no deal, just part of the game. What do you think?
Definitely part of the game. People are always going to do what's best for them and their families, just like the organizations do.
Yeah, you always find that to be a funny term. Yeah, I guess I think of it only from the financial. From the financial, I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the day, I don't know what you've been doing with your money before. Your family should be set. But I understand that from the broader context, they really mean, hey, where's your family comfortable in living? A lot of people are saying now that Dansby's wife was the one that was really pushing him because I don't know if she's from Chicago, but evidently she likes Chicago and it's already there. So just like Freddie's wife, I think was like, look, I'm from Cali, let's go back. I mean, at the end of the day, you a newlywed. The missus said, "Let's go." I guess you got to go, and I guess that's in the context of what you mean about doing what's best for you, yourself, and your family. Because definitely not financially. Financially, any contract he would sign, Braves, Cubs, anybody, his family should be set for multiple generations. But again,
Mm.
I mean, you want peace in your home, and you want to be able to have your family enjoy your time playing. So I guess that is what is with Dansby. But bottom line, he's gone. Um, how much do you think he'd be missed by the Braves? Because he's kind of like a hometown hero, and kind of grew up with the Braves.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's each year when you have people leave and have people come in, you have to build that up again. So it's always difficult losing players because the Braves had a great roster, and any player that was playing and contributing now that they're not here is definitely going to be a loss for the fans and for the city of Atlanta. But you know that they're looking to bring somebody else in, so fans can get on board with the new person that comes in and just keep moving along. That's unfortunately just how it works in the game of sports.
Yeah, professional sports is what it is. It is about it's a business, and sometimes we forget it is in fact a business. And there's no question that the amount that Dansby signed for with Chicago. I'm no disrespect to the guy; he's a nice guy. He was had a great year, but I'm sure what the Braves are looking at is, hey man, these are the best numbers you put up since you've been here. And and I know, Tree, that that's a notorious thing that guys do in that contract year. All of a sudden, they go from average to good and sometimes often good for great. But then after that, we don't see that performance anymore. So I'm sure that's one of the things that the Braves took into account. And and I know the Braves have a very strong farm system. And we saw Marquise Grissom come up. Now he played primarily second base, but um, the first base coach, the third base coach, Ron Washington, was saying, "Hey, look, the guy plays a great infield. We think we can groom him into the shortstop." And I think once that started coming out, I said, "I don't think they're going to keep Dansby because they got a guy they think they can replace him." So at the end of the day, Dansby's gone. I mean, kudos for him. That contract is stout, 7 years, $175 million. That translates out to about was it about 25 million a year? If my
Nice
math is right.
money.
So Teresa, I don't know if that's exactly it, bro. That's a nice amount of money. That's good cash. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, again, we will miss him. He was like I said, I always hate to see the hometown heroes have to leave the hometown team, but like you mentioned, it is a business, and you gotta do what you gotta do, and
Yes, you do.
that's the best fit. And hopefully, he can be part of the resurgence of the Cubs because after they won the World Series a couple years ago, the same thing happened to them. They had the players started becoming free agents, and they were stars on a championship team, and bingo bango, they were gone. Let's go to social media. Our man Todd says, "Why do Braves still employ the outfielder that beat up his pregnant girlfriend? It's karma." Okay,
Mm.
you're gonna have to kind of fill me in on that. I had no idea that was going on. So let's go here. I'll
Yeah,
put
me
that into
either.
Google. Todd, I think Todd's gonna be our unofficial. I'm gonna have a Real Talk Sports TMZ division. And that's gonna be Todd. That's gonna be Todd because he finds out about all kinds of stuff
He
that is
does.
going on. I
And
mean, that
he's
guy's
getting
like
it
Mr.
right.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he seems to get this down pat. Okay, let's go to Google and Google it up. Okay, now we have Marcel Ozuna, and let's see here what they're talking about here. It says, but that was back last year, so I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, Ozuna. Todd, you have to pop back on here for me. Let me know if you want to get in the comments. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about because Marcel Ozuna. No, yep, that's him. Now, okay, so let's get a little backstory about Marcel Ozuna. Okay, I my understanding was that woman was his wife, number one, and number two, if in fact it's his wife, they have had a long history of scuffling between the two of them. Matter of fact, his wife was even arrested one time. So I'm just saying. So if that's the case, I'm not sure all what happened there. And he says, let's see here. He says they're still on the team. Coach, that's him. Yeah, I mean, that's a very complicated situation. And again, let me stop right here so we can make this plain and clear. I'm not advocating any violence. I'm not advocating any fisticuffs. And I'm saying it both ways. And definitely as a guy, guys have to go to another extreme and level when it comes to you striking a woman. I don't care if she's hitting you. I mean, as long as she's doesn't have a weapon, and even if she does, you need to get out of there. Because the realities are, unless you're like what was Muhammad Ali's wife again? Or it's just, I think his first wife, Khalila. Okay. Unless you like that, yeah, you are stronger and bigger than your wife. So you need to leave. You just need to leave, go get in your car, go drive around the block or do something. And women, I'm gonna tell you guys, because some of you women are athletes, some of you guys are pretty big and pack a punch yourself. Don't be beating up on your husband now. Don't get the swing. You need to keep your temper down too. So on both sides of the aisle, let's everybody kind of sue for peace. Call a preacher or something like that. And Todd says, yeah, you never hit a girl preacher. Now that's what I'm saying. You don't want to be striking a woman under any circumstances. That's why I say, guys, I know sometimes that things happen. We get mad, we get tense, but it's better to leave your home. Go in your car, drive down to 7-Eleven. You might have to go and stay at the local Days Inn. Just chill out, but no striking. But yeah, in the case of Marcel Ozuna, his wife actually was arrested for domestic violence herself. So I'm sure they're going to figure that out and work that out. And it's just sad that this. I mean, they're human beings. I get it, like everybody else, but just sad to see. But Tree, definitely, I think you agree with me with the vote for Todd for our TMZ wing. We're gonna put him in there and let him handle
Definitely.
handle the controversy. That'll be our man Todd. Well, look, guys, we're gonna go to a quick little early break because we're actually shutting the show. We're actually stopping the show a little bit early tonight because it's the holiday season. We're gonna stop at 9 p.m. So you guys have locked in. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
Here, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm the Minister Jonathan Simmons. Right next to me is the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman, as we talk to you guys a little bit about sports and even sometimes life right here on the Real Talk Sports Show, because we like to keep it real, just so that you know. Okay, so now we're going to shift to basketball. Um,
Basketball.
Now, you guys didn't know, but Tree is also a well-known karaoke singer. We know that for a fundraiser, she blazed the trails out up in Brookhaven and made it do what it do. Now, we weren't there live, but I got a little clip when she popped in. We were trying to bring her on, but she had to go back. The crowd was going wild. She said, I got no time to come in, and she went back. So if you want some good karaoke, now you guys will probably never see it because it's for karaoke only, private events. Just saying, but shout out to the Tree. So now, the Hawks, once again, Tree, in the second half, what is wrong with this team? Why they can't seem to hold the lead in the fourth quarter? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just something about this team. They have to find it. They have to find it and put it together, because it is really going to be very destructive for them if they don't figure it out. So they have to figure it out. They have to.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Because right now the team has been kind of, chugging their way along at 500. But and again, I get it. Last few games they had injuries, but they're going to have to find a way when they have these double-digit leads. One thing is that we're up by one, but they were up by, I think, as many as 12 points in the fourth quarter, and it still came down to a frantic finish that the game should have been salted away. All right, here we go. Let's see here. It says here that Preacher, I called it a month ago, Trey and the coach fighting. One got to go. I don't know. Here's the thing. There is something going on in that locker room.
Yeah.
I think, Tree, we sensed it at the games we were there. I've sensed it. And even from early in the season where, he kind of, Coach Nate kind of made some comments about the players really not showing up and the players not doing what they had to do. And he said that in such a way that he was trying to send a message. So, I don't know. And it's weird because if you remember, when Coach Nate came on, Trey praised the fact that he had been an NBA player, kind of understood in a way that, Lloyd didn't understand. And that really, it seemed like he had taken on a mentor role to Trey. What do you think happened in these couple of years? I know you obviously we're not there, we're not mind readers, but, what do you kind of think could have happened in that situation?
Well, it just seems from what we're hearing each of them say, as well as the media, that the problem is that Trey, I don't want to say, well, it just seems like Trey wants special treatment, and Coach Nate seems to have a policy where each of his players, regardless of if you're the franchise player or not, you have to be at practices, you have to be at shoot-arounds in order to play and start. And even some of the media has said that Nate is a stickler for these things, and that for him to be a successful coach in the NBA, he is going to have to treat certain players differently. But his philosophy just seems to be where he treats everybody the same. And it just seems to me that that's where the problems lie.
Wow. And the realities is that if you look at the great coaches that have had great players, and certainly I don't want to put Trey in the yet in the same conversation as guys like Kobe or Michael Jordan, any people like that. But at the end of the day, you can take any great player on great teams back in the years, and you will find that this is what goes on. I don't care how stringent the coaches.
Yeah, sure.
Right. The star players, you can't just do anything and everything. But at the end of the day, that player is given a little bit more leeway because of what he's able to do on the court. And to Trey's credit, it's not like he goes on the court as a slacker. Matter of fact, this year, I think he's put himself in harm's way much more than ever before, trying to play the type of defense that I think Nate requires, and what I think Trey realizes you have to play in the NBA to get to that next level. Because really, he's been. it's still tough for him to defend because of his size, but he has been all in. So maybe he's like, hey man, I can't go in all like that. Still try to average, be the top scorer and top assist man on the team without occasionally taking my foot off the gas. And maybe Nate's like saying, hey, I don't care nothing about that. Let's go here back
Well,
again.
I do want to say something really quickly before
Sure,
we
go ahead.
get going, but I do agree. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they did receive special privileges. We know that. Michael Jordan even was talking about how he was going out golfing, right? Some of the guys at practice, he had a tea time. But how many championships had he brought the city before he was allowed to do these things?
Oh,
right?
yeah. I'm with you. Right.
You can't just, even though you're a franchise player and things like that, let's bring some championships first and then get to that level where you can get those special privileges, not just because you are the franchise player and not just because you make the most money out of all the players on the team.
And you have to, in that same regards, you have to be able to be, the guys we all talked about were basically the dominant players. I can go back and even look in the 60s where a legendary stern coach, Paul Brown, was coaching the Cleveland Browns. They had Jim Brown. And, the coach was a stickler on certain things. And what he would do is that Jim had a teammate that was his running partner. And he told the coaches to do is, he said, like, if he came late or something like that, the coach would go to his roommate and basically lay him out, cuss him out with Jim standing right next to him. He would send a message to Jim, but Jim said he would never confront me directly because Jim said that's kind of not how I kind of interacted. I didn't like that. So he said the coach would let me know through my roommate that I was doing something wrong. But that's what the coach had to do to adjust to make everything work so that the Browns did end up winning championships with Jim Brown. And he became, for a lot of people to this day, still think he's the best football player ever. So you have to kind of find some type of middle ground where you can operate because as realities, as Todd says, and I know that Coach Nate doesn't care about that, but when it comes down to the star player and the coach going to be gone before the player.
Yeah, in most cases, that is what will happen, especially with the fact that Nate is a new coach and a lot of the fans think that he should go. I definitely think that they will keep Trey and not Nate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's just the way it is. Now, I'm not trying to say Nate is a bad coach because, again, it's the same man. And it's interesting how in sports, how quickly you can lose your star and luster. This was the same guy 2 years ago. Everybody was praising. Mm-hmm. Everybody was thinking, man, he's going to take us to the next level. Got the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Final. And I think had not been some key injuries, who knows, might got to the finals. Yeah. And I really look at all this stuff we talk about, Trey and Nate. To me, the team has really lost its chemistry. That team, because you had this motley group of European guys, one or two veteran guys, the new young gun. You had John Collins, the previous young gun. You had Clint Capella now moving into a role that was new for him, being like really dependent upon starter. People forget that Clint Capella led the NBA in rebounding.
Led the NBA.
As you reminded me, I was like, I think he led the NBA in rebounding. Yeah. He was actually a top 5 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes. And that's huge, leading the NBA in rebounding.
Right.
That's amazing. He gave us so many more possessions because of his rebounding, defensive and offensive. That's amazing.
So all of these guys really, to some degree, had career years. And the other thing too is they were able to blend. These guys, I think the whole idea, they played the whole year with a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. They didn't have the type of, I don't want to say nonchalant per se, even though it feels like that time. They didn't have that. They had this like, nobody's respecting us. Nobody give us any love. We're going to prove them wrong. The Euros were like, look, man, we want to let everybody know we can play on the same level. Bogey was a guy that had suffered injuries before and kind of people knew he was good, but he was out to prove, hey, man, I'm as advertised.
Yeah.
And that really was the difference. And it was just that it seemed like that perfect blend of just a little bit of everything they needed. And then, of course, the other thing, too, is they could shoot threes at a much better pace than shooting right now. Right now, they are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to them, but they are just nothing going on. So, I don't know. Now, and of course, again, there are rumors that they're trying to trade your boy again.
And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Leave John Collins alone.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, here's the thing. I get it that, okay, when you look at how much you're paying him, that you're not getting the offensive production that you would want. You're paying a guy this kind of money. You would want him to average somewhere between 17 to 20 points a game. You want him to average somewhere between 8 to 10 rebounds a game. I get it. And we're not getting that type of John Collins. But I still think, and this is where I kind of have a fault with Nate, that they're not getting John touches where he can be the most productive. And I grant you, you're right.
Right.
I remember you telling me before, hey, his 3-point shooting is better. It is, but John Collins was the most effective when he was allowed to play over the rim.
No, that's
When
true.
he was, I
That
mean,
is
and I know a
true.
lot of those shots go to Clint. I get it, but you think about those first 4 games of the season. What was the thing that everybody was all pumped up about? John Collins was getting his touches. He was shooting over 50% from the floor. He was back to the old John Collins we knew. 17, 18 points a game, anywhere between 8 to 10 rebounds. And
John
I'm like,
Collins is going to deliver. It's just the system that they're playing right now, and I think that they just need to figure out a way to use everybody's strengths. And I also think that the Hawks can use more ball movement and more passing the ball around and finding more open players and open shots. I think that that's something that they can definitely work on is the ball movement from the team.
now, funny you should mention it. I think that this is also a sticky point between Nate and Trey because it's been documented. And it's not just Trey, the guy that they traded for, the same thing, Luka Doncic, and several other guys. They're what they call ball intensive. And Trey's in the top 5 in the league in terms of having to, kind of have that ball all the time. And as you mentioned, when Trey gets the ball, sometimes that goes into the black hole. He's just like he's doing a lot of dribbling, a lot of shaking and baking. But to be effective, the other night, that's what he did. He moved the ball around. And when the ball came back to him that second time, that's when he was able to make that spectacular pass. He's very good at the no-look pass, the zip in the center. But it's because the ball went around a couple of times first.
Yeah. Ball movement is key in basketball. That's one of the first things that you learn when you start playing the game is motion and how to move the ball and how it opens up players. Because defense, you want to find an open player, and when you're moving the ball, you can get those open shots. You can drive. I mean, it just opens up so many different things, and especially the lane.
Yeah, and with this team, you very rarely see, and this even could be what hurting their 3-point shooting. You don't see the kick outs, where the ball goes inside and kicks back out, usually to a guy that's open. You don't see any of that. I mean, it's like 1 or 2 passes, and all the players come back and say, well, when we have a game where it's like you've seen it 4 or 5 times, where the Hawks go down. I don't even think the shot clock went down 5 seconds, and somebody took a shot, and the players we asked them what happened. Oh well, coach told us to be more aggressive. Well, not dumb. I mean,
Yeah. I've seen where literally the shot clock had gone down 2 seconds and
come on
somebody
now.
comes
Right,
right down and takes the shot and misses bad. And I'm looking like, really? Like,
right.
can't, okay. Okay. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're going to have to turn that around. Todd points out, you're right, sir. Tree said that earlier. Yeah, Bird, Magic, MJ, they all won rings. Man, all Trey has given us so far is a shimmy. Well, he's given us more than that. I mean, this guy has had some huge moments for this team, so I don't want to take that away from him. I mean, he's been clutch.
Yeah, he
I
is.
mean,
He's a
right.
great player.
But they're going to have to find some way to kind of, tighten things up a little bit and see if they can't find a way to really explain to him, listen, it's better for us and it's better for you if your average was to go down from 25 a game down to maybe 20 a game, but your assist score from 9 a game to like 12 a game
Well,
on average.
I don't think that's not what I'm saying. I think his points are good. I'm not saying that. He doesn't have to drop his points to have more assists, you know?
Well, I guess what I mean by that, I mean, like, I would like the mentality. I know sometimes that he's needed to score, but I think that the Hawks would win more games if, because it's really hard to maintain 25 points a game and be up 12, 13 assists a game. I mean, it's just really hard to do that. So I would rather,
Really?
well, no, I mean, come on now. I mean, averaging 25 points a game and 13, 12, 13 assists a game. I mean, you're in rare territory. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know how many guys have gotten that done.
it is rare.
So I would say that it would. I think that the Hawks would win more games if Trey was at 22-12, for example, because a Trey Young with 12 assists, the Hawks are almost unstoppable. Because what that means is that he is constantly getting these guys the ball where they can convert. Not just get a shot off, but I mean convert. So I mean, to me personally, that's almost a question I'd like to ask him. Hey man, would you be okay if you average less points a game, but you average way more assists? Now
Well,
he may or may not
DJ
answer that, but
has a lot of assists. DJ gets everybody involved in the games.
he does. Yep, he does a good job of that, no doubt about it. And it allows Trey sometime to play off ball. Maybe it's just what Trey said to everybody. Hey, we just are still working out the chemistry. I
Well,
mean,
it's definitely something going on there.
and no doubt.
There's
I, I,
definitely something going on.
I tell you something about to go on right now. We're gonna go to a quick little commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Hold your comments on social media because we'll be right back.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
I got my casino shades on, baby. These Robert De Niro specials, the old school square of Vegas. I'm gonna let y'all get a little close up on this. That's how I used to wear them back in the Rat Pack days, the big old square boys. That's how they did it. So anyway, we're back here with the Real Talk Sports Show. That lovely lady next to me is the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman. And we have been chopping it up. We are missing the champion today, but I'm sure he's off doing his thing. We appreciate him. I'm talking about Mr. Tyrone Poole, normally joins us here on this platform. All right, let's go here and put my glasses on so I can see. Oh, look, the world is clear now. Amen. Let's go to social media one more time. Let's take a peek here. I think Todd he says, Trey averaging 3 shimmies a game. All right, let me just put that up here so you guys can see it. He says 3 shimmies a game.
He plays good when he shimmies, though.
That's what I'm saying. He
I don't
certainly
mind
does.
the shimmies.
Me neither. All right, we're going to shift on to football now. And I mean like American football. And, we talk football, we talk the NFL, but we also talk our hometown Atlanta Falcons. And when we do that, we bring the man who is on the inside. He is the actual beat writer for AJC Sports for the Atlanta Falcons. He is a distinguished sports writer, and he is the one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter, award-winning sports writer. It's coming to the show. D-Led, what's going on, sir?
Hello, doing great, Reverend and Miss Tree. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Hey, D-Led.
Hey, D-Led. Hey, man, did you get a new mic, sir? Because you sound extra crisp today. Is that a?
I'm not. Yeah, I had this beginning of the season. I'll just learn how to use it, I guess.
That's that. See, Tree. In case you don't know, that's the ultimate like vlogger mic right there. That's the real deal. Yeah, that's the one. When I grew up, I'm gonna get me one of those. I can tell you that right now. All right, D-Led, Todd's been waiting in the wings already, so I'm going to let him get right to ask you a question. He says he's officially given up in the Coach Smith area. He can't scheme a receiver open. His defensive coach is 80, which is not true. He's in his 70s. And getting knocked out before games. He was hired because the FedEx dad has connections. Well, Todd, that's a lot of shots there.
Todd, come on, man. So it's 2 years in. It's the microwave era. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm not gonna touch the shots at the man's upbringing or the OC. We'll stick with the scheming up receiver thing.
Right.
offense worked pretty fine for Tennessee. They've been in the hunt for the Super Bowl over there for 5 years. Can't help it. Ryan Tannehill threw 3 interceptions against the Bengals. So the offense works. You don't have Derrick Henry, but you're number 3 in the league run the ball. And, you got to probably get some better receivers to get open. They're schemed open. All the schemes work and so forth. So we'll just leave it right there that Todd is overreacting to the rebuilding of the Falcons. I don't know why people think they were supposed to be good this year when they got rid of half the team the last 2 years. They wouldn't say they're rebuilding, but they're rebuilding. And you got to look at the young players and see who's developing. And if those players are going to be able to help you moving forward.
Trey, you have a question or comments for Mr. D, Orlando Ledbetter?
Yes, I have a comment. A lot of people think they were going to be good this year because of our own Jonathan Simmons.
Yeah, Mr. Tim wins.
He thought that the Falcons were going to win 10 games this season. And so he was giving everybody hope, which I think is great to have hope. But I just had to throw that out.
You need some touchdowns with that hope, Tree.
All right. Okay, so now that all this shade has been thrown, okay, let's take a look at this now. Let's take a look at this for real. First of all, let's take a look at the opening game of the season against their hometown rivals, the New Orleans Saints. A game which they led for most of the game. They had a dominant performance for 3 1/3 quarters, and then they collapsed in the fourth quarter. That was a very winnable game. That game they should have won. Okay, so that should have been my game number 1. Okay, how about the game against the Rams, who we now see are a bad team, terrible team? Another game they had great opportunities to win, and they did not. So to me, you guys can make fun of me all you want, but had this team actually made about 4 or 5 plays, we'd be right now well ahead. Matter of fact, we might have even clinched a berth as the NFC South champs, considering how everybody else has played.
Well, I'm not making fun of you, right? I told you when you made your prediction that all season, which is actually why I made this, right? Because I even said every week I'm going to show you how the Falcons are doing, but I am not making fun of you. It doesn't matter that they almost won or almost lost, even with my Detroit Lions. Look at how we started. We were almost winning a lot of the games. We were up, and then teams will come back. And so we were losing the first few games of the season. And so, it doesn't matter almost. You heard Brandy's song. Almost doesn't count. What matters is what the score is when the clock strikes 0.
Yep, and we're not making fun of you. Vegas is very, very rarely wrong. And this 5 might hold. They said they were going to win 4.5 games. And so, they might get to 6 is what I'm looking at now, Reverend. I don't see Baltimore. They can get Arizona. I don't see Tampa Bay. So that's going to put you at 6 and 10. So
I did not know that Vegas predicted 4.5 because if we recall, I said I thought they would win a maximum of 4 games. Very, very, very high as 5 was as high as I was going. So that's pretty cool that I was online with Vegas.
Mm-hmm. I think you got some connection with them out there somewhat.
I don't. I don't gamble at all. So
no gambling for the queen. All right, so D-Led Todd said he's come to a sense. He said you talked him off the ledge. He was acting crazy. So
all right, yeah, I knew Todd would calm down, get him a little coffee. Okay, let me chill a little bit. I mean, you gotta look at it. What they lost and how they're trying to replace it. The line's doing good. That was one of the problem areas. So they're 3rd in rushing. So you could build around that. The quarterback looks like he's got a connection with Drake London. You can build off that. You get Pitts back. Get another. You got to keep running backs in the stable because they're gonna get hurt. Like Caleb Huntley got hurt. So you got to keep that going, and then get the defense better. We can't have Richie Grant trying to jump routes, giving up touchdowns. They can't do that. and then the rookies got to hold on to the ball. In the middle of the field, they're coming to hammer it away, so you got to tuck that thing in. But they're young. They're going to learn how to play. Troy Anderson started for the second time. Looks like he's going to be a player at inside linebacker. They need cornerbacks because they can't play man defense because guys are wide open when they play man to man. You gotta get some. You gotta get some people to play opposite of AJ Terrell. Saw Casey Hayward in the locker room. He's coming back from a pec surgery, but he's 32, so I don't know if he's gonna be able to help you moving forward. But you gotta just look at the progress that they're making and keep it in perspective. If they would have said they were rebuilding, it'd have been a little bit easier. But since they won't say it, we got to keep reminding you that, hey, this is a rebuild. They got rid of the quarterback. They tore the thing down. And, they just don't want their players to think that, hey, we don't have to go out there and compete because we're rebuilding.
Well, I have a question, D-Led. You actually answered something that I was going to ask you is what do you think that they need for next season based off of what you saw this year? But now that you've already answered my question, I do have another one, which is what you see now. What do you think should be the number one position that they are shooting for to get somebody at the highest level in the draft next year?
I think you can you gotta get some people up front to stop the run. You gotta be able to make teams one dimensional. And when we saw Carolina run the ball right down the middle, it was a straight ahead handoffs to Dante Foreman. Then you saw everybody copy that. You got to be able to stop the run, and they need some help up front. We've been saying that for years. Get some big fat guys up in there that gonna throw their guys around, and then you can come off the edge with some speed. But I think the defensive front is priority number one, and then you got to find some people that can play man to man.
Well, I tell you, it's funny you mentioned that. You mentioned actually also another guy who I've been kind of high on, Mr. Troy Anderson. One thing I thought about is it because he's considered to be a better tackler? But I've always wondered why, with his speed, why they haven't done more delayed blitzes with him, especially against quarterbacks that are mobile. Because that guy can fly, and I'm thinking to myself, the times I've seen him, he seems to be a guy that kind of can find where the ball is. So I'm just wondering, from your perspective, why haven't they ran him more on blitzes, on stunts, where they could maybe utilize his speed to get to the quarterback?
Well, they actually are a little bit, Reverend, probably going to do a little bit more. They had to get him comfortable with the defense and so forth. But one of the reasons he started against the Saints was so he could run some stunts with Rashard Evans, help him get free, with Grady Jarrett, help him get free, and to kind of put the Saints on their heels a little bit. They thought he could rush, or he could cover Kamar, or he could drop. So they didn't know what Troy was doing. And that was kind of one of the games within the games that Coach talks about. So, I think you can expect to see him be more part of the pass rushing attack.
Okay, go social media one more time. Todd, actually, now you say he got off the ledge. He's not being serious. He said, D-Led, how is Coach Pease? Will he be back next year? We're kind of right now last in the league as defense. Would a defensive coach make a change on this team?
Yeah, Coach Pease is doing good. He was at practice today. He was in the office on Monday. They're going to monitor him all week. He was talking with Frank Bush today at practice at length. So, they might be getting ready for a transfer power here down the stretch. He's 73. He came out of retirement to come back for this job. And I think, in the ideal world, he's probably giving Coach a 3-year commitment. And so, but, because of the way things are going, it could be, maybe it's time to cut it short and get back to his boat. Or whatever he was doing in retirement. And, Coach Bush he's called it before. He's won a couple of Super Bowls with the Broncos. and then we'll just monitor that situation as it develops.
Well, there you go. It's a lot to think about. We're going to take a quick little commercial break, and then we'll be back with the final segment of the Real Talk Sports Show. We're going to talk. We did mention it briefly, but do want to get you guys' opinions on the legacy of a former NFL great. Y'all know who I'm talking about, but we're going to chop it up in just a minute. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Stay tuned.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, we're back here, the Real Talk Sports Show. Coming out of the break here, we have the man himself, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter. We also have the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman, and he is here, the champion, not one but two-time Super Bowl champion. He's also a member of the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. Number 38, Mr. Tyrone Poole is in the building. What's up,
What's
sir?
going on, good people? What's happening? What's cracking, as they say? What's going on?
All right.
He brought some energy. Tyrone, he
Man,
lied.
I always bring energy, man. I'm talking about that noise there now. I always bring energy. That's something that's something that I always do. You're not gonna get a dull moment around me. I didn't play with no energy. I didn't sit around with no energy. I'm like, anybody's heard me, I bring nothing but energy, baby. I'm like, that's how you get it done, baby. What's going on, good people?
All right, the energy man.
That's it. All right, Todd wants to know, D-Led, what was your best all-time? Where'd he go? I'm gonna be like Urkel. Did I do that? I don't know what happened to D-Led. I guess I must have bumped him by accident, but he asked the question. Hopefully he'll come back on here. Well, while we're waiting for D-Led, we're going to shift gears for just a second here. You guys, unless you were in a cave, it was the Celebration Bowl, the Black College
Hey, how did I stop talking about NFL?
Well, hang on a second. D-Led's back. Okay, he's back. All right. Hold on one second. He's back. All right. D. Orlando Ledbetter, I'm trying to get you in. There he is. You're back. So, Todd has one last question. What was your best all-time Christmas gift that you got?
Ooh,
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I want to, go back to your childhood. You think about Hot Wheel cars and race car sets, and being excited about those. I think we got a bike one year that was pretty good, and that little Skittle pool thing. I was excited about that. But I know my favorite one was getting my daughter that. Santa Claus getting my daughter the that Lamborghini car. And so we're riding down the snow in Wisconsin in her pink Lamborghini. She was like a little kid. So
how cool
that was kind of cool.
Well, that was that's pretty good. I don't. What about you, Tree? What was one of your best gifts?
Honestly,
yeah,
my best Christmas gift ever is my husband. He was my best Christmas gift, my best birthday gift, my best everything. When every day is Christmas, Valentine's Day, that was the only gift that I wanted. So that's my best Christmas gift.
Can't beat that. Mr. Tyrone Poole, you got a favorite?
Favorite gift, man? I got my gift right here. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Tell him hello.
Look at that guy there. There he is. How about that fella?
Yeah, see what y'all got going on, good people. That's what they got going on.
Well, he's a handsome fella right there.
That's my watchdog, man. My watchdog.
And I've seen him make a guest appearance. He's actually part of Tyrone's marketing campaign, because I saw him come on and speak some words of wisdom. Like, you have to, work that thing. So he's kind of famous, that dog. He's not just any old kind of dog, no doubt.
What's your gift, Jonathan?
It really wasn't on Christmas. It really wasn't on Christmas. My best gift ever is that when I was about, I think, 13 or 14 years old, maybe about 13, I think, Bill Cosby had decided that he was going to film a movie, and he filmed it right in the projects kind of where I lived and some of the other guys lived. And so we actually got paid to be extras.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, it was really, really cool. And we actually played in a touch football game. And I became known as the real Fat Albert, because at that time I looked like Fat Albert. And they threw a pass out to him in the flat. You know, and a lot of people don't know that Bill in his prime, when he was a younger guy, I think he played track at Temple, and he was quite the athlete. So at that time, he was like 48, 49. He came rolling around, and somehow or another, somebody blocked me kind of into him. And down goes Mr. Cosby, and down goes the round mound, the rebound, young Mr. Simmons. And Cosby gets up, dusts himself off. He looks at me. He says, "Watch out there, Fat Albert." And then everyone's, "Oh!" So anyway, I took the money from that and went down to our local hardware/toy store, where I had watched for probably the whole year. They had up on the display the NFL two-door electric football game, Cowboys against the Rams. And I went and bought that game in the rain, tucked it under put some plastic on it, tucked it under my shirt, and rode my bike 2.5 miles home to my brother, who at the time I think was about 11. And I mean, that was our enduring memory. Matter of fact, when I spoke to him about that the other day, he said, "Man, don't talk to me about that. I'm going to start crying." That was like, we wanted that thing so bad, and my mom couldn't pay for it, and I used my own earnings and paid for it. So that was probably my best gift, even though it wasn't necessarily Christmas. That was it. Two-door electric football game. Y'all don't know about that, but I think D-Led knows about it. You put the little men on the metal field and they move. Yeah, that's what I had. So that's it. So anyway, we're going to wrap up a little bit of our segment here with the NFL.
One of these guys.
That's it. Oh, D-Led, I can't believe
Oh,
it.
wow.
Oh, my gosh. Dude.
That's Harvey Martin, but he lost one of his arms there.
Oh, D-Led, you got to be kidding me. I got to get closer to that. Put
Wow.
that up one more time. Come on. I got to get closer with this thing. One more time. Put it up there. That's incredible. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
Hey, we played this one. I still had one when I was in law school.
Listen, I had one when I got out of school myself, bro. Matter of fact, I used to two-door games was in Brooklyn near my house, about an hour away. And back then you could actually order the teams. And you but you could order them if you wanted to, like in just plain white. And I would actually hand paint all the teams myself.
Yeah, here's a hand.
Oh yeah, man.
You just muted yourself, D-Led.
Are you back on, D-Led?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
there he goes. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's the Cleveland Browns, right?
Yep.
God, dog.
He's not finished though. He used to be a cowboy. I could tell from his top.
Man.
But yeah, when the games went out, somebody threw all my men away. You know, I don't know. I was looking for them. These are two guys I got left.
Yeah, the late great Dorothy Simmons. She took away a lot of memories and a lot of money, because over the years she threw out hundreds of baseball and football cards that I knew would be worth some money right now. Comic books that I know would be worth some money right now. Mm-hmm. The late great Dorothy Mae Simmons says, "We are not traveling with these anymore. Goodbye." Mm-hmm. So that would be it.
Yeah, I was able to salvage a couple grocery bags when I came home from college, but I lost a couple too. So I hid them in the attic, and then I was able to keep them out of Rita Mae's line of fire.
Well, you already know. All right, well we can't go to the college segment to wrap up, because we have to go through the legendary Queen Board of wins and losses before we go any further. And we have to
okay. Oh, cool.
Oh man, you got D-Led, you're killing me, brother. I mean,
he's bringing out.
I mean, he's killing me with this stuff. I mean, this is like, I'm like a kid now. I mean, that's exactly the stuff we had at the house. All right, go ahead, Tree. Come on, wins and losses.
Okay, so we already put up the Falcons, so now I have to put up my Detroit Lions, who are at 7-7 at 500. Woo! Oh my goodness. Can I just say how proud I am? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So let's go, Lions. One pride. And then, of course, my Minnesota Vikings, who pulled off the biggest upset in the history of the NFL. Oh my goodness. Here we are, 11 and 3. It's amazing.
Go.
Go Vikings!
And meanwhile, my Falcons have tumbled off the edge of the cliff. Just think, they were 500 not too long ago. But now, that's all a distant memory. All gone. All right. So now I want to do this. So now I want to ask everybody what your thoughts were. As you know, the Celebration Bowl was played to a record crowd, 49,000 people. Hype machine was gone. It was the best Celebration Bowl ever, went into overtime. But nevertheless, Jackson State, for the second consecutive year, were upset and have gone home with no trophy. All right. So I'm going to ask D-Led you the question first. The legacy of Coach Prime. What do you think? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Oh, good. And I'm MEAC. I'm not SWAC. I was the football team's announcer, so I traveled with my Bison, who were actually the co-champs in the MEAC this year, with North Carolina Central. So, good for Coach Prime to shine light on the HBCUs to the folks that haven't traditionally followed them. I mean, I grew up watching Eddie Robinson and the Grambling Tigers on tape delay in St. Louis, so I've been following HBCUs for a long time. And the play Coach Bill Nunn, Scout Bill Nunn with the Steelers, putting together those teams, recruiting the HBCUs. Got the pleasure of meeting Rayfield Wright, Fort Valley legend, following Tyrone. And whenever I'm doing draft stories, I try to make sure I know who the best HBCU players are coming out. But Deion bought the majority races to the games. Never saw a is it sport? What's the game day show? Game Day.
Game Day, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I never seen him at Howard. We had BET at Howard, but I never saw Game Day at one of the black schools, and so that was big. And now maybe the thing that before he went to HBCUs, you had 50 HBCU games on ESPN platforms. Last season, you had 150. So hopefully that will continue, and we'll hold their foots to the fire, because the kids at Fort Valley State deserve just as much covers as the kids at Towson State, or Delaware, or the Blue Hens, or New Hampshire. These kids play just as good football as likewise and similar PWI institutions, and so they need the light shine on them too. So hopefully that will continue, and then and us in the media will kind of hold their foot to the fire. And Jackson State played great football way before Deion came there. They got 22 SWAC titles. He only got 2. So Coach Comagese and Walter Payton, Jackie Slater, Brazil, they got a long, steep tradition. And, and if the majority colleges and conferences didn't want to look at it, that was their problem.
There you go. Well, Tyrone, I'm more so proud than anybody on this panel. I mean, you were right in the middle of it. You played for HBCU, was a great player. Guy's been nominated for the Black College Football Hall of Fame. And then with your tag team partner, ESPN3, covered a lot of the SIAC games and other teams. What were your thoughts about Deion and what he was able to do in his tenure at Jackson State?
Well, I agree with D-Led. I think Deion brought a lot of spotlight. And also his spotlight was so big that it spotlighted a lot of bad stuff that people were trying to cover up. And my hopes are that the alumni pay attention to what Deion not only did positively, but also what he revealed that is keeping HBCUs down. So, again, I can go in depth with that. And also, I would advise everybody, if you want to keep up with Deion, check out the interview he did with Shannon Sharp today. He turned up that heat even more, man. But at the end of the day, as far as Jackson State, Deion did an exceptional job. You go back all the way for the Celebration Bowl, 2015, up to 2021. You don't hear nothing from Jackson State, So not only did Deion help the HBCU overall, letting people see that you can make it. Everything you need, you already have it in the kitchen. You just got to have people who know how to cook it. So it's all about the cook. We got the ingredients, we got the food. Sometimes we just don't have the right cook. So, but yeah, he did a great job for Jackson State. I'm pretty sure they're gonna continue to be involved in some of those business deals for the next several years. So now it's all about, can they take advantage of it? Can they take advantage of it? And and this is for all HBCUs, okay? From a money standpoint, I think a lot of us, like, they do these classic games, and Deion spoke of this too. Okay, he spoke of this as well. I think Alabama State, if I'm not mistaken, went out to play somebody in California. And when you look at the money that they spent and the money that they got net profit for playing that, they actually came back in the negative. Now, that can be fact checked, but again, this is what we got to start doing as HBCUs. Okay, we got to stop doing things and coming back with a negative, man. So again, I like what Deion did, and wish him the best. I think he's going to do great things in Colorado. He's assembled a pretty good coaching staff. And again, I'll close with this: the offensive coordinator from Kent State. He's a fast pace. I think I mentioned this last time we even mentioned anything about Deion. The offensive coordinator is a fast-paced offense. So I'm telling you, when you get up there in Colorado, I played in Denver. All right, them big guys, they're gonna get tired. And the third and fourth quarter, you watch, Colorado gonna be a strong third and fourth quarter team when they play at home. I'm telling you. But anyways, to answer your question, I think Deion did a great job, and I just hope HBCUs can pick up and continue, man. So yeah.
Well, I look forward to it too, and I think that we're going to revisit this. I got a chance to meet a lot of guys that cover the HBCU on the regular, so we're going to try to talk about this topic and see what stuff is going on. But tonight, we got to wrap it up, guys. We're shutting down early because of the holiday season. So, you know how we do it, guys. We want to let you know how you can find out more about our guests and follow them on social media. So, D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC, on the gram at DOrlandoLed. Our Falcons coverage is on AJC.com, and you can also follow us on Facebook, Atlanta Falcons News Now. Thank you, Reverend, Miss Tree, and Tyrone. You all have a great Christmas, and take care of yourselves.
You do the same, D-Led.
There we go.
Yeah, D-Led.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Everybody, Merry Christmas to you, and everybody be safe. The deal. Same routine, same bat time, same bat channel. Tyrone Poole 38, all social media. Check out Work That Thing supplements. WorkThatThing.com, and work out with me on this Wednesday, people. This Wednesday, WTT body sculpting. All right, workouts. Very easy workouts. I've been in fitness for over 22 plus years, people. My body was my business. All right. So I've catered the workout to where you get out of it what you put into it. So you're not going to work out like me. So just because I'm a professional athlete, no, you're not trying to compete with me. You're competing with yourself. I'm just giving you proven basic exercises. So Wednesday, we have what I call yoga chair Wednesday. So yoga chair Wednesday. If you've never done yoga in a chair, you need to go to TyronePool38.com, click WTT body sculpting, and let's get loose. Let's stretch, baby. All right. Tyrone Poole 38, all social media. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you.
Work that thing.
Thank you, Tyrone. Work that thing, buddy.
There you go.
All right, Miss Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. And I just want to say quickly, if you're still looking for some awesome Christmas gifts, I have candles with my candle and cosmetic company. You can find them at El Shimon Candles and Cosmetics. Actually, it's just elshimon.com. You can find me on all social media at Purple Diva 13. Or actually, I like how D-Les said, you can find me on the gram at Purple Diva 13. And also Ms. America International 2022. Merry Christmas, everybody.
My Christmas is done right there, boys. All right, so it's me, the Minister Jonathan Simmons. You can follow me anywhere on social media, but please follow the show at Real Talk Sports and number 7. You can follow me at Minister J Simmons. Remember, that's Minister, the letter J, SIMM. Now, listen, people have been telling me that they want to support the show, which is very exciting. Now, I'm going to make it very easy for you. You have 2 ways to do it. Number 1, you can go ahead and hit me up with email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you just call me on the phone or text me, 678-410-9833. We actually have what we call supporter packages now. We've established those. You can be a supporter of Real Talk Sports Show starting at just $25 a month. $25, that's it. That's like $6 a week. You can be a supporter of the show. Because I know you guys like the fact that we're clean cut show and we kind of bring on some stuff and sometimes we're goofy and funny. Anyway, please do that. Now, Christmas. You know, I'm sure you guys seen Christmas cards and so forth that says Jesus is the reason for the season. Well, here is why. He loves you more than anybody else, and he did something unbelievable. He came here being fully God, fully man, and he died for your sin. But more importantly, he rose from the dead. So all you have to do is 2 things now. Repent of your sins and believe that. And 2 wonderful things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to the creator of the universe like a loving parent, asking for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, granted to you. And if and when you die, you go to that wonderful place called heaven, where you have sunshine, bright, beautiful people everywhere. All the buildings are adorned with spectacular jewels. You never get old. You never die. You never get sick. No pandemic, no bad people. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things that are in heaven won't be in hell. So it's dark, it's dreary, it stinks, it's painful. And most of all, you cut off from God, Jesus Christ, and all the people you love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, everybody. Until next time we see you again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and God bless. See you soon. So long. Merry Christmas.